Okay, it's that time of year again, tax season. You've got all your documents lined up, and you're probably thinking about filing ASAP. But hold on. Before you hit that submit button, there's an urgent warning from tax pros about a mistake that could delay your refund for months and potentially cost you thousands. So what is it? Let's get into it. And look, I totally get it. The holiday bills are starting to pile up. Maybe you used one of those buy now, pay later things. And, well, later is now. You are counting on that refund check to get things back in order. That urge to file on the very first day is so real, especially when you need that cash. But, and this is the crazy part, the overwhelming advice from the people who do this for a living is the exact opposite. They are all screaming the same thing. Just wait. I know, it sounds completely backward, right? You want your money faster, so you should file faster. But this year, that logic could seriously backfire big time. So let's break down this mad dash for the refund and really dig into why jumping the gun might be the single worst thing you could do this tax season.
Yeah, this pretty much sums it up, doesn't it? This is that financial pressure cooker that so many of us are in right after the holidays. You're trying to pay off credit cards, maybe pay back your brother, or just get some breathing room. These are all totally valid reasons for wanting that refund, like yesterday. And look, this isn't just some vague idea. This is a direct plea from the experts. This quote from a really popular tax pro on TikTok couldn't be clearer. The people in the know are all saying it. January is not your friend when it comes to filing taxes.
So why? What is the big deal? Why is everyone so insistent about this? Well, it really all boils down to two major dangers, two big traps that you can fall into by being that early bird filer. Let's take a look. Okay, here they are, the two critical traps. First, you've got actual legal holds on some of the most common tax credits. And second, the IRS's own computer systems are just waking up for the year. And trust me, you do not want to be their guinea pig. So let's talk about that first trap, because this one is huge. If you're someone who claims really common credits like the Earned Income Tax Credit or the Child Tax Credit, and millions of families do, there is a federal law, the PATH Act, that literally stops the IRS from even touching your refund until the middle of February. So filing on day one gives you absolutely no advantage. Your return just sits there in a digital pile, waiting. And that brings us to trap number two. You got to remember, every single year, the IRS has to update all its systems for new tax laws, new forms, the whole shebang. When you file in those first few days, you're basically using the beta version of their software, and you might just be the lucky person who discovers the first bug in the system. And if that happens, oh boy, your return doesn't just get a quick fix and sent on its way. No, it gets kicked into what tax preparers call the special pile for errors. And once you're in that pile, getting out can delay your refund for weeks, and in some really bad cases, we're talking months. Now, if all that wasn't enough, these individual risks are being made so much worse by a much bigger issue. It's not just about your return, it's about the IRS itself. Right now, the agency is dealing with what you could call a perfect storm of problems. Just take a look at these numbers. The IRS is working with about 25% fewer people than they used to. They've gone from around 100,000 employees down to about 75,000. That is a massive drop in the number of actual human beings who can process returns, answer your calls, and fix problems. Fewer people means bigger delays. It's that simple. And it's not just the staffing cuts. They're also wrestling with brand new tax law changes. They're trying to roll out new AI systems, which will have their own issues, you can bet on that. And they are still trying to clear out backlogs from previous years. The agency is just stretched incredibly thin. And if you think a delay of a few months sounds bad, just listen to this. This is a real quote from a taxpayer. Can you imagine getting ready to file for this year while you're still waiting for last year's money? This is the kind of nightmare that can happen when things go wrong in a system that's already overwhelmed. Okay, so that's a lot of bad news. I know, we've laid out all the problems with filing early, so what's the answer? When is the right time? When is that strategic sweet spot to finally file your taxes? This timeline pretty much says it all. Think of January as the high-risk danger zone. But once we get into February, everything starts to change for the better. The legal holds on those credits are lifted. The early bugs in the system have probably been found and squashed. February and even into early March, that is your sweet spot. So really, here's the choice, laid out plain and simple. You can file in January and risk getting tossed in the error pile, dealing with legal holds, and having your refund stuck for months. Or you can wait just a few weeks, file when the systems are stable, and have a much smoother path to getting your money. So here's the key takeaway from all of this.
This is not about procrastinating. It's about being smart. Use January to get everything organized. Get your W-2s, your 1099s, all of it in a nice little pile. Prepare now so that when that sweet spot hits in February, you are ready to go with confidence.
And that's really the question I want to leave you with. In this race to get your tax refund, sometimes the slowest start makes for the fastest finish. Is waiting just a few weeks worth avoiding all those headaches and making sure you get the right refund without those stressful, months-long delays? All the experts seem to think so.